Hey, what's up guys? Today we're gonna talk about how to not confuse yourself with structure. So obviously we're currently on EU, and if you've noticed in the past, at the time of recording, from the past couple of weeks, we've seen EU not making any clear pullbacks, not making clear lower highs and lower lows. So today I'm gonna explain to you on how I personally look at the markets when it gives you this type of price action. So currently we're on EU, as you can see. Let's just go down on the daily. Now I'm still expecting EU, if it gives a more valid or a larger time frame break of structure, or in short accumulation, then I'd be looking for long, expecting since it's probably tapping into this demand zone to then continue to the upside. Or again, I could be wrong, I could always be wrong, or I could be right. It could go lower, tap into this way more lower demand zones, and continue to the upside. If it gives us confirmation, then we would look for entries, obviously. Now, and again, I could also be wrong. This liquidity low could be grabbed. This liquidity low also could be grabbed, and price could continue way more lower. But let's just focus on what to do when price doesn't give you a proper lower high and lower low, or a more clearer lower high and lower low. So let's just mark up this more general or larger demand zone. Let's just say, as you can see, let's just point it up to the low. As you can see, price hasn't made it tap into the low. So this is how I personally mark up lower highs and lower lows, or vice versa, if it doesn't make a clear path. Now let's just do a rewind. Let's just do a rewind back to the November 10. As you can see, where price, we made a couple of videos over here. We've seen price make a clear lower low, lower high. Why is this a lower high? Because it breached this previous lower low, creating another lower low. Now we're expecting another lower high. As you can see, price did deliver that. Now, to give you an idea, price hasn't made a significant pullback. But why, if you'd ask me, why would I mark this as a lower low and a lower high? Because from my point of view on lower time frame structures, obviously on every lower time frame structure, it looks more clear looking like this. So on lower time frames, it looks like this. Then since my perspective of this, since if we measure this is a 180 pip move. If we compare it to this higher high to this lower low, this is a 160 pip move. Same with this one, 94 pip move. So it is within that range. Unlike if we consider this as the lower low, if we measure this is currently 350 pips. Now, if you look at swing highs and swing lows, there is no swing high that goes to 350 pips from this current price range, meaning this is a very impulsive move, or a very volatile move. Same with this one. So what we can do as traders is we can look for ways where we can give ourselves measurements where we can base off swing high and swing low points. Hence why I did this. Since if we compare it, obviously this is a very impulsive move over here, so there would be a no clear zone for a lower high and lower low. Unlike this one, this looks like on higher time frames, a drop, pullback, and another drop. So a drop, phase drop on some other people, I don't know how you call it, but on higher time frames, this looks like a quick retest. Also at the same time, I believe there was a demand zone on the left side, but meaning if I also believe that there are demand zones on the left side, so price probably mitigated that demand zone, created some liquidity. At the same time, we also took some scalp buys over there, partial, not a crazy partial, or not crazy RR, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes price gives you great months, sometimes price gives you horrible months. So as you can see, so currently I've marked this as the lower high Let's just clear this up. So currently I would mark this as a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This could be also a lower high, a lower low and a lower high. As you can see, lower low, lower high. Then this is where I pull out my fib tool to measure the healthiness of the pullback, or whether I can count it as a very healthy pullback. Now, you would ask me, as you can see from this lower low to this, from this lower high to this lower low, price hasn't made a very healthy pullback. So why would I consider this as a lower low and a lower high? Since, again, I'll explain it again, since this move is very rare or unlikely to happen, since it's a 300 pip move, unlike if we compare it from the past couple of trading days or past couple of price range, the average would be somewhere at 150 pips or 100 pips from its swing high to swing low points. Unlike this one, this is a 300 pip move. So obviously we need to find points. Again, this is also valid lower. If you consider this as lower high and lower low, then you wouldn't look at this. It is still fine. We can still expect price. I'm also looking at a more general, or being a more flexible trader, also expecting that price could, from this swing high to this swing low, that price could maybe pull back to its 50%, then continue to the downside. This is a very possible thing to do. So what I can do, I have some break evens over here, and I have a running position over here currently. I am also planning to take partials on this 50% of this larger swing high to swing low move, from this high to swing low over here. So I have my partial sets over here. I have another partial zone at the same time as equalize over here, hence creating liquidity. So let me just clear this up. So again, I hope you understood that explanation from this 300 pip move over here. Now let's just continue with lower low, lower high, lower low. Then why would I consider this as a lower high? Because again, let's measure from the swing high to swing low. As you can see, price did a very reasonable, or what I would say a healthy pullback or a valid pullback. And as you can see, price broke through that previous lower low, hence creating a new lower high. Unless if price didn't break this lower low, if price did this, went higher, then went lower, then this would be obviously the proper lower low. But as you can see, price broke this previous lower low, hence creating a new lower high and a possibly new lower low. Now what we can do is, as price is creating or doing a pullback, what we can do is measure it again if this is a valid pullback. As you can see, it did tap the 50%, so I would consider this as a new, possibly lower high. It can be called a proper lower high as soon as it breaks this previous lower low over here. So if we play this out, as you can see, price did break this previous lower low. So this could be a new lower low, and this is possibly a new lower low. Currently not a official lower low yet, but this one is a official lower high, since it did meet my criteria on how I look on pullbacks. Hence, pulling back to the 50% of this retracement, pulling back to the 50% of this retracement, then breaking lower. Now we're expecting price. What we can do again, rinse and repeat from this high to this low. We are just waiting for price. We can also start from this low over here, but as you can see, price didn't really did a pullback, so we trail our fib tool, looking for a proper pullback. Now as you can see, from this low to this high, price tapped in sniper entry on that 50%, or on that 50% of this swing of this retracement. Now we're just waiting for price to break this new lower low, unofficial lower low, and at the same time we're waiting for a confirmation of a official lower high. As you can see, let's just play it out. So price broke the previous lower low. Now obviously this is now my official lower high and possibly a new lower low. Now we're just gonna trail, rinse and repeat again. As you can see, price did not do a pullback, so we trace it again, play it back again, do a pullback. Now we're waiting for a break of the lower low, but it broke higher. Hence, we are now shifting our order flow. Now again, per currently, we could have looked for supply zones here, supply zones here, supply zones here, somewhere there to look for shorts, since the current order flow is on a downtrend, hence creating lower highs and lower lows. But as you can see, price broke the official, currently the current range of price is from this high to this low. As you can see, price broke that protected high over there. Hence, we are now shifting to the upside. Now we're expecting price to continue to the upside. Now again, why is it wanting to continue to the upside? Possibly since we are in a very impulsive push to the downside, price might want to come higher, mitigate some of these supply zones over there, then continue to the downside. Or again, I could be wrong, price could shoot up to continue to the upside way more higher. Now, as you can see, if we play price in, price did a pullback, went higher. Now we're expecting, since it did do a pullback, what we can do is get the fib tool, boom, from this low to this high. As you can see, price tapped into the 50%, possibly creating a, if we just do this, let me just clear this brush up. Now, let's just replay price over here. So we measured again, same thing with the fib tool, swing low to swing high. As you can see, price tapped into the 50% of this fib tool. So possibly this could be a higher low. Now we're just waiting for price to break this previous higher high before we can shift some things again. As you can see, it broke that previous higher high. Now this is a official higher low. Now we're just waiting for price to create that higher high. So I hope you guys learned something. Now let's just go here. As you can see, I had my current position over here. This is not the proper one. This is the old one, but it's a similar thing. I'm expecting price to continue to the upside, either to this supply zones over there, but I'll be creating a video on this one after this, since I will be busy on December. So as you can see, as I marked up, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, since it did pull back to the 50%, lower low, lower high, lower low, break that previous lower high. Now we are shifting higher high, a higher low. Then we are now, as speculators, we are now expecting price to continue to the upside, either tap on the supply zone over here, or either here, or even go higher. Again, we don't need to be correct all the time. We can be wrong multiple times, as long as we have a very huge winner in the coming future. So I hope you guys learned something. If you are currently confused on EU about the structure, hope this guides you. So see you soon. Peace.